Alright.
Hello.
How's it
I'm
going?
now broadcasting live, and let me focus on you here. Let's see, so the camera
Here we go.
focuses better. All right. We have 3 viewers, but we're also on live stream, so we have X number of viewers right there.
Alright.
So, my question is thus: Who are you?
My name is Charles Jacob Real, and I don't know. I love Portland. I want to keep it intact.
Right on. Okay, so my second question, and everybody answers differently, and some people say I don't know.
I would hope so.
Is what is the vigil?
That vigil?
Yep.
Actually, I don't know.
Okay. So, any general broad thoughts about it?
No.
So there's a couple of signs out front.
I know that it's been there for a couple weeks, but
It's actually been here for, wow, we're having our 6-month
let me
anniversary.
restate that. I've been here for a couple of weeks.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
That's
But
about the extent of my knowledge.
this is our occupation on the sidewalk, and it began with just a guy and a candle and a table of little things. That's Colonel, and
His name is the Colonel.
yeah, Colonel Moses,
Colonel is
or
okay.
otherwise known as Colonel Loosenut.
Could there be a better name? I don't think so.
That's right. You might see him riding a, a,
I have
a
not seen
bike
this
with
Loosenut,
with a tutu.
I've
Or
not
his
seen Mr.
Colonel
Loosenut.
hat. Yeah, Mr. Loosenut, sir.
Mr. Loosenuts, excuse me. That is assuming that he is a guy.
But you know, he was pretty serious about the mission. He wants them to lift the camping ban. So that's, I guess, the
On
question.
private property.
Um, not on city hall property, but rather public property. It's illegal for a person who has no place to go to lay down with a blanket because they call it a campground, a recreational campground.
I can understand this, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
so-
I've brought in many homeless people home. To stay.
Oh,
Because they
yeah?
don't have a place to stay, yeah, because they can't stay here.
Right.
I mean,
So have they told you stories about getting awakened at night by authorities?
oh, I've heard so many stories. I mean, it's not, all about to do with trespassing and whatnot, but I mean, it's more of a humanitarian right, I mean, it's more about having, I don't know, having nothing, and being treated, or, not treated well,
Right.
So, I mean, it's just they're all humans, but they have nothing to do but put them in jail for something that, they don't want, and they're having a hard enough time to just trying to survive.
Right. What do you get put in jail for if you're houseless? What?
If you're homeless,
Yeah.
exactly, trespassing, as you said.
Okay. So trespass. Now the camping ban. What happened was there was a sit-lie law, which is a terrible thing where you can't,
Sit or lie.
sit or lie down.
Yeah, I've heard many stories about somebody, sitting under a tree or whatever, and, it's late at night and getting picked up by the cops.
What happened to them?
They got taken to jail because, I mean, this was at a meeting and they were intoxicated. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're sober or not. I mean, if you're just human, that's the only requirement.
Right.
You're human and you're in the wrong place.
Right.
That's all you have to do, or be.
Right. And so they don't have a place, and the only thing available to them would be public property.
Right.
And
Yeah.
some people resort to actually lying down on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Out here, we can be on the third of the sidewalk facing the street,
Really.
which is, don't roll over. Watch out for the street sweeper. But yeah, they can do that. Although I just got news that some security guard said something to the effect of, "You won't be here much longer." So I need to find out who said that and why. I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so we have the recreational camping law being applied to people who are obviously not camping, recreationally camping, just because they have a sleeping bag or a blanket and they're trying to lie down. But they get awakened all night long. And nobody's happy until they find a little crevice that's in some dangerous part of town where the businesses aren't.
That's
gonna
no joke,
complain.
dude. That's total all mine. and everything. All my emotions go out to those people. I can't stand it. You know, people being just like stuck in that kind of position of having to, you know, go under a bridge or go somewhere that can't be seen. You know, we're all, you know, the dangerous people are, and it's just fucking so disheartening. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm having to pay for this. You know, pay for people to, you know, do something that I'm totally not agreeable with.
Oh, you mean the cops and that's your
Exactly. I mean,
taxes going to work?
Exactly. All this power that I give them through money. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I always wondered, wouldn't it be nice if you could like specify, itemize on your taxes what you will and will not pay for, where they couldn't actually use your money for certain.
right.
Because
They
I mean,
wouldn't
it's
have
your
their own
money.
agenda. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we could just check the box.
But I guess, yeah, no, we pay people to do that because, you know, the more right-minded or whatever you want to call it, you know, it's totally not agreeable.
Right. So the other law that they apply is the sidewalk ordinance, city sidewalk ordinance. So, but they took the place of the sit-lie law, which was, you know, I guess it was ruled unconstitutional, but that was more because there were already laws, or there were, you know, it was like a
Yeah.
technicality ruling more than a, you know, because it's a human right.
Mm.
But nevertheless, they replaced this bad law with more bad law that's obviously being
Yeah.
misapplied. So anyway, lift the ban. I guess I would say it's stop using that law inappropriately and leave these people to get a night's sleep. You know,
Mm.
I mean, if you're able.
Well, it's not going to be nice sleep no matter what. I mean, we don't have the tax dollars to pay for them to have a nice sleep in the first place, and we don't have the tax dollars to pay for them to actually be able to recuperate and recover and actually be able to hold a job or whatever. You know, I mean, it's not only about just them, you know, being on the streets. And, I mean, it's so much more. I can't even state that enough. You know.
Right, there's more going on here than just whether or not
Of
you're
course,
left
and
alone.
there's so many things that you cannot fix. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
Well-
Humanity is just a sad place.
Well, if you are sleep deprived, you are going to be insane.
Yeah.
I mean, the sleep deprivation causes insanity.
But I mean,
and,
I've
and
had a
illness.
house and I've been sleep deprived. You know, it might be society or it might be something else. You know.
Right.
But I mean, you don't necessarily have to be on the street. I mean, the people on the streets are the people that I've known to sleep best. The people that I've taken home, they sleep in for fucking, you know, a day or two. I don't know if that's just because, you know,
Catching
they've
up.
stayed out in the street, they're catching up, whatever. But,
Yeah, folks don't realize that the sleep quality is bad enough that a person who goes to sleep at 10 at night is going to be sleeping through till noon, not because they're lazy, but because that it takes that much more, especially in the cold or the rain. We have people out here in the rain. There's also this idea of a structure. If you were to put a shopping cart and another shopping cart and just drape a tarp over it so you could sleep without the rain hitting you,
Yeah.
getting your clothes wet, making you freeze, they call that a structure.
Everything.
Yeah, they call it
That's funny.
erecting a temporary structure. And yeah, so if you have a pallet and you lie on top of it so that the rain will rush under you instead of under your sleeping bag and
Okay.
you, they call that a structure. It's again a misuse of a law.
Gotcha.
They actually made a person take down a tarp who was trying to figure out if they were going to call this a structure. He had just a tarp between a string, and they called that a structure. I mean,
Yeah.
this is insanity, is what this is.
I mean, that's
so.
good and all, but I mean, most of the homeless people I know are addicts. Straightforward. You know, I mean, they choose to be on the street. They want to be on the street, but also they don't know any better. You know, because there's not been any kind of therapy. There's not been any help. You know, under them to be able to support them while they get recuperated or they get into sobriety. So I think it's, you know, not an issue about people being on the street, but about, you know, them not being able to get a hand up and be able to be productive.
Well, the thing that you said about most of the people that you know being addicts, if you talk, like there's a lady I talked to, she said most of the people who are houseless are veterans. And then another person said most of the people that are houseless are youth who've
But
been
why? Why is
kicked
that? Is it
out.
because of PTSD? Is it because they have too much of a drinking problem or what? I mean,
Right. So they don't get enough support.
I mean, they don't get enough support. Are you kidding me? The army is the least supportive cause, and it's disgusting how much money we spend on this.
They're put at a disadvantage, physical, mental.
They totally are, and they were trying to get all the smart young people to go to the army, to volunteer. I mean, and these people aren't going to be, bettering the environment. They're not going to be helping the people in their hometown. They're going to be out at war, getting PTSD, getting problems, and they're not being supported. Just being left
Right,
on
and
the
then they come
streets.
back. Then they come back, and
Yeah, they have a bunch
that's
of problems.
So the army is creating a burden on society right there.
Yeah.
By using people up, they're
That's
bringing
sick.
them back,
Yeah.
and they're
Good people.
bringing them back broken. Maybe they should be responsible to clean up that mess themselves if they're gonna keep taking people over to overseas. That just floors me. Anyway, so yeah, that's what the vigil is. Now you can light a candle. You can. We need some incense.
I actually do have a candle in my backpack. Really.
Nice.
I've actually been carrying it around. I don't
Really?
know why. Maybe it's fake. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'll
And then
definitely light
and there's a list inside of ways to donate, and I'm also selling keepsakes that have the link, among other things, for this channel. But the idea was, you could have a
Cool, I
little
was like
tiny
that.
candle to burn in your home, or just keep it. It smells nice. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's just to kind of help me doing the Vigil TV. That
Yeah,
was
for sure.
yeah. But anyway, well, so you're Don or Charles. You're Jake.
Yeah.
Jake.
I'm Jake, Charles, Jacob, Jacoby, Chuck.
Okay.
Whatever you want to call me.
Okay, Don was the other guy.
Call me
who's met.
nameless.
Sorry. Yeah, you can't call you nameless. That name's taken.
I don't care, dude. That's not, my opinion is more, better than my fucking opinion.
I like it. Well, okay, Charles, Jake. Thank you for talking to us on Visual TV.
Thank you.